in Lali's book. That's not my name. So let's finish this now. So, I'm basically a character from a teen horror movie. Covered in blood, check. Bruised to hell, check. So here we're doing page 9 actually. Megan Lali's book. That's not my name. Miss, he says, can you hear me? I nod. Miss, you need to drink something. I really wish you'd let me take you to the hospital. By the way, this is chapter 2. And as I said, you're welcome to join me for getting a summary of this with quotes explained and question and answers and more. You can get in touch with me. Right now, we're just doing a short excerpt here for you. So we're just doing this small excerpt and extract from it. Miss, you need to drink something. I really wish you'd let me take you to the hospital. You're very pale. The thought of the emergency room sends another barb of anxiety through my body. Being pale is the least of my worries. I shake my head. Officer Bowman sighs. Miss, I glare at him. Stop calling me miss. He sits back in his chair and creaks again. Okay, so what should I call you? Good freaking question. I don't know, but don't call me that. My voice sounds 1,000 miles away. Was that one of the concussion signs a paramedic warned me about? I should have paid attention. Officer Bowman pushes the mug closer to me. I'll make you a deal. You drink something of this, some of this, and try to help me figure out where you came from, and I'll stop calling you miss, and I'll cool it about going to the hospital for now. I am. You have a nasty goose egg, but you're alert and you're responsive. You can walk unassisted, and the lights in here don't seem to be bothering you. So if you start to slur your speech, lose your balance, throw up, black out, or show any other warning signs of a concussion, we're going to the ER. Until then, I can get you a fresh ice pack and we can talk. Deal? Whatever. I nod and I take a sip. I won't admit it, but the warmth feels good on my throat and it settles in my stomach like a rock thunking into a puddle, which makes me think I haven't eaten in a while. He leaves the room and I readjust the blanket around my shoulders. The wool pricks against my neck, but I can't muster enough energy to care. Between the blanket and the sweatshirt, and I've created a cocoon of heat around me, but I still can't stop shivering. So Bowman returns with a fresh ice pack. I carefully press it against my hairline. It stings, but it dulls the throbbing. And he pulls his notepad from his pocket and sits. Okay, so let's talk. I want to go on the record and say that you're not in any kind of trouble. So I only want to figure out what happened to you out there. So how could he know if I am in trouble or not if neither of us have any clue where I came from? I could have stabbed someone in the face and he'll have no idea. You and me both. His brow furrows. You don't have any memory at all? Nothing before waking up in the ditch? I shake my head. I thought I saw hands reaching for me, but I might have been spooked by the dark. He writes on his pad. Do you know how old you are? Nope. What about family? Can you tell me who your parents are? I stare at the clock on the wall, watching the second hand tick around. No. Okay, you look young enough to still be in school. Do you remember its name? Maybe the mascot, a phone number we can call, anything? I shrug again. I don't know. Did you run away? I don't know that either. Could you have been in a car accident? I let out the most epic sigh. How many times do I have to say it before I can't remember? Clicks into his brain. When I don't respond, he frowns and taps his pen on his chin. Okay, new plan, I'll be right back. He disappears into the main office and reappears a minute later with a laptop. To be honest, this is way above my pay grade. I basically write speeding tickets. I put in a call to my boss, but he probably won't answer until morning when the precinct reopens, and I don't want to wait that long to start getting you some answers. So that makes the two of us. So let us do what we can in the meantime. We're doing the book here for anyone coming in now. That's not my name, and it is by Megan Lally. It's a very thrilling book. So let's do what we can. I'll continue with that. Since you have no ID, we'll search missing person reports first year in town and then expand our reach. So someone must be missing you, and your face could be here in the database attached to a name and a contact info for your family. So it might take us a while, but finding out who you are is the first step to finding out what happened. So let's see what we can dig up. I nod and he starts typing. We spend the next sifting to files, and we weed out the locals almost immediately. There's only one missing person in town. It's some Santa looking man who disappeared while bar hopping. So Bowman makes some comment about having to track down that guy every other month, then moves on to the country's missing list. Turns out Alton is about halfway up the Oregon coast. I wait for any of this to feel familiar, but it doesn't. I can't even tell him if I live in this state. How messed up is that? I mostly sit and drink my hot chocolate. He convinces me to drink another cup, and eventually the sandwich that is packed for his night shift. Well, you're definitely not Levin, so this isn't you, Bowman mumbles at about 1:30 in the morning. He clicks to another listing and squints at the screen. I wonder how long we're going to keep this up. At some point, I have to leave this place, right? So this thought fills me with dread. When would I even go? What happens if you can't figure out who I am? I ask. He looks up with his kind lemur eyes. You have nice clothes. If you look past the blood name brand shoes, you're in good health. You don't appear to have been living on the streets. You must belong to someone. So we'll either find your people or they'll find you. You may have to kick this up to a more equipped precinct in the morning, though. There's a small office. There's a small office for a small town, so we don't have the same resources as the larger stations. So I have to sift through these reports one at a time, and I barely work through half the missing persons in this country, much less the state or beyond. I know that makes sense. So this whole office is basically an open space with two desks. In this conference room, a short hallway with bathrooms, a break room with a copy machine, and a holding cell. A loud bang comes from the front of the precinct. I jump out of my chair and into the corner of the room. Officer Bowman peers through the doorway and turns back with his hands out, palms facing me. A gesture that's clearly meant to calm the spooked animal in front of him. So someone's knocking on the front door. You're safe? Nobody's gonna hurt you here. I nod. My head throbs from standing so fast, and my heartbeat thumps like a Lizzo chorus. Oh, hey, I guess I remember Lizzo. If all else fails, at least I like good music. Stay here. I'll be right back. Officer Bowman says. He walks out, and I hear the metal on metal creak of the front door opening. Can I help you? I can't see him anymore, not from this angle. I pull my blanket tighter around me and crept towards the door, curious who would show up at a closed precinct this late. God, I hope so, a man says. His voice is much deeper than Bowman's, but also a lot quieter. I have to lean towards the doorway to hear the rest. My teenage daughter is missing. I can't reach her on the phone. I've been driving for hours trying to find her. I think I have to file a missing persons report. Holy missing daughter? Was Bowman right? Did my people find me? I inch closer until I can see out into the precinct. Bowman stands with the front door cracked open, his entire body blocking the open space. I can see the man in front of him. I can't see the man in front of him. What's your name? Officer Bowman asks. Wayne Boone. Okay, Mr. Boone, how old is your daughter and what does she look like? She's 17 with short brown hair, freckles, and green eyes, around 5'5". Bowman looks over his shoulder and locks eyes with me. His gaze flickers towards the conference room, and I reluctantly slip back out of view, fighting the urge to check my swollen nose for freckles in the reflection in the glass. Step inside for me. I'm going to need some identification. The door creaks and I hear it click shut a second later. Of course, the deep voice says, "Closer now. I also have photos of her if you need them for the report." Actually, I have someone here matching that description. And she's here, the man shouts. Mary's here. Mary? My Lizo heartbeat speeds up. Is that me? I peek around the corner again. The men are in the entryway, standing by a long wooded bench. Mr. Boone is kind of wiry. His arms are slightly shorter than they should be for his height. His hair looks like he's thinking of going grey but hasn't committed to the change. The silvery strands stand out around his ears, but he's slicked most of it back, not with product though, like he's been running his hands through it for so long that it's been forced to obey. He is wearing a black sweater and dark jeans. I don't think I've ever seen him before. But what would I know?